Welcome back on the AM show. On Wednesday, which is tomorrow, we'll be having yet another installment of the Graphic Business Stanbic Bank Breakfast Meeting. Sounds nice, right? This year's is themed 17 times too many. What should we stop doing and start doing as a people? 17 times too many. What should we stop doing and start doing as a people? Joining us for that conversation ahead of tomorrow's program, Charles Benoni Okai is acting editor, Graphic Business. We also have Kojo Labi, who is with Stanbic Bank. Gentlemen, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If your morning is good.
If my morning is good. I see your violence came into the studio early. Mr. Labi, why would you? So is your morning not good?
I want it to be good.
You want it to be good. What is not good about your morning?
I guess the three of us here have, over the last couple of weeks and months, been aware of our national challenge and whether we have a way out of it.
We have many national challenges. Which specific
I'm sure
one
you
are
know the
speaking
one. The biggest hanging record that we all know of is a twin barrel gun between inflation and then cedi depreciation. When you join them, I don't know what you want to call them.
There's this interesting placard I saw. I said it was a bit of a joke, but I must be respectful about it because someone was carrying a placard, during the Kumipeko demonstration, reloaded on Saturday, that said, the Bank of Ghana may have the exchange rate pegging, but Abochi determines the real. And today, as I interacted with some of my earlier guests, one of them from the Aboa, spoke about the fact that for the business community, it is real because as of even yesterday, if you go on the market, you're looking at 14 cedis, 50 pesos and the like. So the a little over 13 cedis at which the Bank of Ghana pegs it is a bit problematic. So there are so many issues to look at. But maybe since you're here, I'll just do this before we get into the substantive issues. Farmers are complaining that banks you're not giving them loans. From what I know, about 4% of the loans you give go to the farmers. About 4%, even less. And even of that 4%, about 90% goes to the cocoa buying companies and all of that. Would you like to just chip in what can be done?
Sometimes you don't want to veer into policy, but notice that we have challenges across board. When you are done with the farmers and you talk to industry, it's a similar situation. When you are done and you talk to producers, it's again similar. You just mentioned what the industry is telling you about access to funds in terms of, let's say, dollars.
Yeah.
The banks know people would import, and they know that they need to have access to forex. We simply don't have it, or don't have enough. So I guess the farmers' problem compounds the national situation because if they cannot produce to feed our industry, then we are in crisis. In a few weeks' time, I am sure we'll be celebrating our farmers, and we'll have all the nice things that are possible in that sector.
Yeah.
I mean, agric. All the productive activities happening would revolve around having funding. But before your bank or my bank or his bank, we are able to venture into any sector, we must be able to guarantee the fact that the shareholder will come back and have his money.
Yeah.
If I'm afraid that when I venture in that sector, the returns will not be enough for me to be able to pay dividend to the shareholder, I think I'm in trouble. Nationally, I think we'll have to tackle this matter. We've tried many things, including instances where we have been told X amount must be guaranteed. I think that's
I know. The agric minister, for example, has said that, look, allocate this.
But I think it has
still not worked.
He's trying to think out of the box a solution. But will it work? Is it the fact that the banks don't want to invest, or there's a problem that doesn't make it worthwhile for it to be done? The banks want to make money, technically, any sector that holds. And that's why you see many banks doing government treasuries, because technically they appear safe. But when you do that, I guess you're actually crowding out other people from the market. So it's a difficult one to answer.
Well, and in line with that, ahead of that meeting, there have been interactions with Dr. Kuma, who also talks about how to deal with our economic situations. I just wanted us to get that out of the way. Reducing the size of government, rationalizing flagship programs like 1D1F, like free SHS, like the plethora of those we have, and also, getting some concessions from our debtors, basically, or basically those to whom we are indebted. I don't know what your quick take is on that before I go to Mr. Okai.
So I'll start with debt. So if debt forgiveness were to be the answer, we went HIPC how many years ago?
This was 2000.
By the time we were done, our debt to GDP ratio was somewhere in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
We've climbed back to where? So I don't think that the answer is...
We got a lot of debt relief.
Yeah. So by the time we were done, the gap was smaller. So we had a breathing space to do a few other things. How many years later? We are much, much worse off in terms of how much debt we have. So it's not an issue of how much debt we have access to. Structurally, this system called Ghana got to change. We would have to do a few more things differently. I'm sure we are digging, but the tool we are using to dig ourselves out of the hole, is it the correct one? Maybe that's a question that Benoni will have an answer.
Is it a shovel we're using or an excavator? Maybe we should explore that. Do you have any take on this before we get into...
Yeah, I mean, the issue about the size of government, I think we've all known that from day one, that it will hurt in a way, So we all expected that something would be done about it before we even went to the IMF. But nothing so far. And I think with this call, I hope somebody will listen.
You hope somebody will listen? That's an interesting way of putting it.
We hope, because our situation is dire. And like the president put it the last time, we are in crisis. He used the word crisis. It tells you how dire the situation is. So I think we should find ways around it to help us.
So, okay, let's look at the theme for this year, maybe a highlight of the theme for the last quarter. We're talking about 17 times too many, the things we are not doing right, and starting to do the things we actually can do right. Why this theme? Like
the team says, 17 times too many. Every government since independence has been there. What does the IMF do? It brings some kind of discipline. It ensures discipline in our financial management. So if every time we have to go there and then we are disciplined, anytime we are there, we are disciplined. If you look at the time the NDC left, 2016, 2019, the IMF was there. We're disciplined. What happened? We went off and then the indiscipline started. So why do we have to go back when we know very well the things that we need to do so that we don't get back there?
And it's even important, crucial that you mentioned this, because when it comes to electoral years and how much we spend, somehow when we are under an IMF program, we're able to keep it. But when there's no program, then just to feed into what you're saying.
So it's a bit concerning that we have to go there anytime we are indisciplined. We should be disciplined, and that's why we set up this, theme, that maybe this time around, things will be done well so that we don't have to go back to the IMF. It's not the best. It doesn't speak well of people who are capable. Ghanaians are very capable. Everybody from both sides of the economic divide, the political divide that we have, both sides I know have very competent...
to NDC MPP.
Oh yes, they are very competent people who can run the economy. So I wonder why this thing keeps happening. I think with this, we should give an ear to some of our economists who are all over the place. Since last week, they've been on various platforms proffering some very tangible solutions. And I think this is the time we have to listen, because we don't need to go back for the 18th time.
So this is basically what informed the theme.
The theme, yes.
For this final quarter.
We want an input to guide government in its budget, the 2023 budget, so that we put things in order so that we don't have to go back again.
All right. For you, Mr. Labi, you've been supporting this. I mean, this collaboration I think is one of the best things that have happened to industry. What has been the impact of this over the years?
It's been a wonderful platform. We thank Stanbic and all partners like you for just ensuring that this thing kept running or keeps running. Deliberations end up, in most instances, then you get to see some implementation. You don't get it in total, everything that you ask for or all the discussions, but gradually you notice that some things get done. In recent times, we've presented the rapporteur's report for the last two events to some stakeholders again, just to inform further decisions. Remember when the president spoke some time ago about when he asked people to be what? Citizens and not spectators. Right. This is a platform that allows many more people to be part and parcel of the national conversation, national discussion. Remember the theme and what it's saying. As a people, that's the last line. So it's talking about not just separating what we keep saying are the leaders, the politicians and so on, but we as a people.
So leaders and followers, yes, all of us.
Yes, followers. What new must we do? Is it about our national taste, our insatiable national taste for things foreign? Is it about changing our ways? You know you need leaders, but if you don't have a buy-in by the people, you can never go for it. So I guess it's been a wonderful experience for the past 7 years. We are thankful, like I said, and we'll keep pushing, and we'll keep nudging, we'll keep hoping that things will get there. I mean, you meet us every time to get the world to hear about it. Yeah. I'm sure there's fire in your belly. He over there, I know his fire. He only speaks to me off air. And I guess, interestingly, when you meet the people who are not in power, right, their solution basket is amazing. They have those who will be on the side of government doing the implementation. They would have spoken about all the answers. They get there and you realize something is holding them back. Where is the gap? Such that when you flip it 4 years or 8 years later, the very people who had all the answers or those
suddenly don't.
Yeah. It cannot be that they don't know their work. Something must be missing.
Right.
Maybe the people, not people power per se, but people's involvement, the citizenry, got to be part and parcel of what we are pushing for as a country. This platform is one of the many democratic experiments that we are offering so that we all become part and parcel of one game for a better Ghana.
Mr. Labi, very quickly, so you spoke about leadership and followership, and sometimes it simply is that our leaders, per what you hear around, don't want to listen. So what then are your expectations with this theme? What are you hoping it will achieve?
Hope springs eternal. Hope springs eternal. There are things that you keep hearing once in a while that may be grudging admission of the fact that people have the ears. Keep nudging, keep pushing. So long as our president has said we are in a crisis, it means that we can't keep doing the same things we've been doing forever. We'll keep hoping.
For you, just tell us, who are the panel members who are joining us this time round? I know you always have a crack team to...
Yeah, we still have a crack team. We have our own Professor Godfred Bokwin.
Okay.
He's a professor of economics. He speaks his mind. He's very eloquent, very knowledgeable.
Very insistent.
Yes. he never fails us when we call. And such people, these are some of the people who make a very good input, which when governments listen, you know, it can lead us to a better place. We also have a rep from AGI coming, you know, right, so to also share what they think should go into the budget. So we have some very good panelists to discuss the theme.
Okay, and your partners, I'm sure you want to acknowledge them.
Yeah, before that, let me touch on the perspectives.
Okay.
So to give it very good taste, we've divided it into 3 perspectives. The first is the challenge, what it is, has it been, and why. And then the second one is alternative homegrown solutions, options, and requirements.
Okay.
And then the third is what Ghana must do differently. You see, it all dovetails into the broader issue about the 17 times too many. So these perspectives will bring out some clear solutions as to what government can incorporate into the 2023 budget.
Reminds me of that saying, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always...
Well, we need to be consistent. You see, now you realize that the academia and industry are pushing hard. You know, it didn't used to be that in the past because our situation was different compared to now. So now I think people are beginning to talk. From last week, like I said, you hear different, even Joy, you held some, one forum yesterday, which was, you know, the panelists gave very good insights. I wish the government will listen.
Okay. So let's acknowledge our partners and then...
Stanbic Bank, we are so grateful to Stanbic Bank because they've noticed how important our platform is, and multimedia, yes, and then media general. So we have to have some partnerships because we are a newspaper, so that we can have more people listening to us. Yeah.
You can live at Labadi Beach.
Sorry, Labadi Beach Hotel. Labadi Beach Hotel.
If he had, I would have catered for that.
Sorry, Labadi Beach Hotel. Sorry,
right.
Labadi Beach Hotel is also on board.
Well, we can only expect fireworks. Maybe just for our viewers, just reiterate the theme for discussion tomorrow, and that's how.
So 17 times too many. What should we stop doing and start doing as a people?
17 times too many. What should we stop doing and start doing as a people?
Not just one person. All of us. It's a crisis for all of us. And
like Mr. President saying, we are in this together.
We are in this together.
But I saw some responses on social media.
We are in this together. We are in this together because I wouldn't just blame the government for what has happened.
Right.
We are also part of it. We, the citizens, we are also part of it.
Yeah,
we give pressures all over the place, and it gets them to do things that they wouldn't normally want to do. So let us all join, like the president said, and then find solutions to our own problems.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. It's always refreshing engaging both of you, especially Mr. Labi.
May you have a good morning.
I wish you say. And of course, Charles Benoni Okan is acting editor, graphic business. We also were joined by Kojo Labi, manager communications at Stanbic Bank. Stay with us. Don't you go anywhere, because when we return after the break, we'll be taking your thoughts on social media and via the phone lines with Mapito CBD. But before I go, I actually need to take some water. Guess which one I'm going for? Water, as we know it, regulates your body temperature. It keeps you alive and kicking. Awake is premium purified water treated through a strict purification process to ensure that every bottle on the market refreshes you better. And guess what? We have the perfect sizes for all occasions. 330 and 500 ml bottles to fit right into your pockets and bags. 750 ml for the heavy drinkers and 1.5 liters for those who always want more. We have also introduced our special 19-liter jars for offices and homes. Now, all you need to do, stay awake with Awake Purified Drinking Water wherever you go. So come on, grab a bottle of Awake Water and get quality hydration. Awake Purified Drinking Water, it's one for life. Remember, for every bottle you purchase, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. It's produced by Casapreco. For bulk purchases, please call 0262 351 251. This advert is FDA approved. We take a break while I go and grab my bottle of Awake Drinking Water. We'll be back.